We in the studio. We in the studio. With Rob in the studio. In the studio. In the studio. Catch a vibe in the studio. In the studio. We in the studio. With Rob. We in the studio. In the studio. We in the studio. Yeah, I'm in the studio with Rob. I need to make the heat flicker. Izzle on it, only thing can make a Rico beat sicker. So listen and get your wisdom. Gemstones on your head. Hood with the OG like Flintstones, good in bed. Been living a long time and he got something to say. Depending on how you feeling, dog, you might got something to pray. This type of influence that you ain't gotta filter through your liver. We in the studio with Rob. Come let the heat rock simmer.
Yo, what's up? Welcome back to another episode of In the Studio with Rob.
That was smooth. I like that. Wait, that was out there. This last part.
In the Studio with Rob.
Alright, I heard it was better. I'm not trying to organic go, but I like that one. I like it. Woo. Give me chills a little bit. Hey, what?
Hey, I'm in the studio and I got my man Izzle with me.
Yep, skis.
What's going on, young fella?
Feeling good, feeling great, sir. How are you?
Hey, I'm doing well. Hey, question for the people. When was the last time you asked for help? And I ask that because we all need help sometimes. But the problem is we look at like asking for help as a weakness, as opposed to it being a strength in reality. Because when you get the help you need, you get a little stronger. But we also we think we need to stress out and go through the motion of figuring things out by ourselves when we could have just asked for help. And that's kind of what we do with this podcast. This podcast is to provide help to you so that you don't have to struggle or keep running into the same wall by yourself. I'm trying to give you information to stop you from running into that wall, or let you know even if you ran into the wall, you can take a turn. But sometimes you have to ask for help. And, when we're young, as we grow, sometimes, we kind of grow up in different environments and people make you feel like asking for help is a weakness, or asking for help, you kind of feel like if I ask somebody for help, I'm gonna owe them, or they gonna look at me differently or whatever. And in reality, what happens is when you ask for help and you get stronger from the help that you were provided, and you apply that back to someone else, no one's looking at you as weakness. They're looking at you as really smart and being able to grow and get stronger. But the problem we have is that our ego and our pride won't allow us to ask for the help that we need. Sometimes, you could be in a bad relationship, a dangerous relationship, and people stay in that relationship far too long because they feel like they can't ask for help, or in some cases they don't know where to get help. But in a lot of cases, it's just like I gotta figure this out by myself. Well, maybe you need some help. Maybe somebody else can help you get through or help you get out of the negative situation that you find yourself in. You aren't always the reason you in a situation, but you staying in that situation because you don't get help, that's your issue. You got to figure that out. You got to say, okay, I got to get some help to get out of this. This is not healthy for me. Whether that's mentally, physically, financially, you got to figure out, how do I get out of this? And sometimes the only thing that's going to work is for you to ask for some help. It's okay. I said before, when we was talking about the enabler, I said, I can't help you. I tell my kids I can't help them do nothing. But I can help you if you ask me for help. Because that means you're trying to do something. Even if that trying is just get out of the situation that I'm in. I don't know how I got here. I've been in a situation where I needed help. When I got out of the Army, I had nowhere to, I didn't really know where I was going to go. I had wife, kids, and so I ended up going and staying with my dad for a few months. Wasn't the most comfortable place because a lot of people, but I needed help. And my pride didn't want me to do it. My ego didn't want me to do it. But the need that I had for my family overrode that. And, you know, and even when you ask for help, it ain't always going to be comfortable. Sometimes you're going to be in situations that get the help that you need will put you in a situation that is uncomfortable, but it may be still better than the alternative. Meaning, I may not be comfortable here, but at least my family is warm and they got a roof over their head and we ain't sleeping in the car. Mm-hmm. You know, it ain't comfortable because it's tight. A lot of people here and we sharing this room, but at least we got a room. It ain't comfortable to say, I got to do this or I got to, you know, I don't have a place to be, but it's what I need until I can get a place. So things aren't always comfortable, but you need the help that you need. You got to get help when you need it. I can't just continue to, you know, I can't sacrifice my well-being or my family's well-being because I want to hold on to my pride or my ego. You know, sometimes, like when you grow up, you know, people teach you, you know, being independent equals maturity. It's like if you're independent, you taking care of your business, you growing up, you being that ain't really true. Because God actually made us as a community. He wanted people to be in your life. And so what we do sometimes is we isolate ourselves and then wonder why we feel lonely. I'm not telling anybody what's going on in my house. And that's kind of what stuff that we grew up with, you know, especially in the black community. I don't know what white communities do or Asian, that else, but in black communities, a lot of times it's like what goes on in your house, you keep in your house. And to a certain extent, that's true.
Hey, also white people write in and tell us, what do you do at home?
Yeah, but at the same time, you know, if it's dangerous or unhealthy, you need to tell somebody. You can't be being abused in the house and not share that with somebody else because you're trying to keep it in the house. That's not healthy.
That code is built for abusers to continue to abuse, actually.
And what happens is, and then what happens is people grow up and they be like, well, no one helped me when I was going through this. Nobody knew you was going through that. Who did you tell you was going through that? So now you mad at everybody else in your family, your extended family, or all your friends because they didn't help you when they never even knew you were being abused or anything was going. I didn't know y'all was hungry. So I couldn't give you food if I didn't know you was hungry. But it's nothing wrong. Everybody goes through hard times. It's, you know, it's sometimes, you know, you won't have a full fridge at some point. But if you need some food and you don't ask somebody for some food, you won't get food. But you can't be mad at me because I ain't give you food. You got to be willing to ask for some help sometimes. Don't struggle by yourself. Don't go through a bad situation. Look, my daughters, and it is for any girl, but I'm speaking as far as my daughters go. If my daughters are in a bad relationship, a physically abusive relationship, or any kind of bad, anything bad for that matter for mine, and they don't tell me, I can't help them. But if they tell me, I'm going to take them out of that situation, because what happens is, and we fail to realize, when you're in a mentally or physically, emotionally, sometimes, you know, abusive relationship, that can be the beginning of the end. Meaning that person that's abusing you will keep abusing you until someone makes them stop or until they take you out. So you got to be willing to ask for some help. Don't just go through the abuse by yourself. If my daughters, my sister, or just people I know, friends, if you call me and say, hey, I'm in a bad situation, I'm coming to get you. We'll figure the rest out later, but I'm going to take you out of that unhealthy relationship and get you to a safe place. You got to ask for help, though. No one knows what goes on behind that door if they're not behind that door. You got to be able to ask for help.
And demeanor change is not enough for the average person to guess abuse, by the way.
Yeah.
So just because you seem down doesn't mean somebody's brain going, oh, maybe they're being abused at home. So yeah, it's only so much that being quiet, people can do off intuition. You do have to speak up. That's for sure a situation where you need to ask for help.
Ask for it. I mean, and again, if you don't have a family member or a friend that can help you, then get professional help. Whatever you need. But again, and not just to stick on abuse, but I'm kind of talking more about that only because people die in abusive relationship. My mom was in an abusive relationship, and for years she didn't know how to get out of it, and she couldn't get out. So she could have died in that relationship. There were times where she probably felt like she wanted to die and just leave and get out of it. Eventually, she was able to get help and get away from it. But that a lot of that didn't happen as soon as it could have, because there was no one, people didn't know all of that was going on. You got to be able to share. And again, this is not even a knock on, I'm not even talking about the abuser, because I'm sure he or she that's abusing a person, they got some issues. I don't know what their issues was, but they needed help too.
Ain't no matter fool.
They needed help. And maybe it's from a childhood, that what things they went through, things they saw, but they went through and they needed help too. So even if you are that abuser, male or female, because a lot of y'all women keep putting your hands on men and you shouldn't.
I'm saying.
So, but you need to ask for some help for yourself too. Say, look, I don't know why I have this anger problem. I need to find out where to get some help for this issue.
Dang, can you imagine putting the pride aside that you're talking about to say, hey, can you help me? My girl be hitting me.
I know, and that's the dangerous part, because a lot of brothers don't, we talk about women, and women, there's a lot of support that people will talk about for women, but men, a lot of brothers getting hit and being abused, even if not physically, emotionally, mentally, and it's like, I don't know, I can't be telling nobody that my girl hitting on me. And then what happens eventually is the brother take as much as he can, then he respond, and now she hurt. Or she hurt him for real. And again, it's so many things, but you gotta, whether you male or female, if you are in an abusive relationship, ask for some help. Let's take the abuse out of it. You and your family going through hard times. Your lights off. It's cold out. You don't have no food in your refrigerator. Ask for some help. Seek help from somebody. Don't just walk around with your problem. It's my responsibility to feed my family. It is. That's true. I give you that, bro. But if you need help doing it, go get the help. Because that's still you fulfilling your responsibility. Mm-hmm. Just because you ask somebody to help you doesn't mean you gave away your responsibility. It just means that I needed another avenue because what I'm doing is not working right now. I'm running into some problems. So don't let you and your family suffer with no lights, no heat, or no food because of your ego. Ask for some help. And when I'm talking about help, I'm not just talking about financially. Because a lot of times people ask for money. It's easy for y'all to ask for money. And like you won't pay it back. But I'm talking about ask for a way to change your circumstances as well. Because again, I can give you enough money to go get some burgers for your family, but you're gonna be hungry again. So you need to be finding out ways to either get a better job, a second job, or how to manage the money that you're already getting. Because maybe you're already making enough money, but you need help. Because most of us weren't taught financial literacy. So it's not that we don't make the money. is that we don't know how to manage the money. But ask for some help. There are people, probably even in your family, but people that you can get in touch with or friends that you have that are managing their money well. And maybe you just need some information. What am I doing wrong? But again, so don't just, this is not about just going to somebody and say, hey, can you give me some money for this? No, it's the information that you need more than the money. You may need the money temporarily, or in the immediate, you may need some money. But overall, you need information so that you don't continue to be in a cycle. I need you to be able to manage your money better. Or maybe you need 2 jobs instead of 1. Maybe you're in a situation where you need 3 jobs. I don't know. But whatever, you may need to do more. But you won't know. If you don't know, you won't know until you ask somebody. Get some help. Don't just think it's all on your shoulder, because what happens is then you feel the stresses of life and you like, yo, I can't take this no more. It's too much. It's too much. And either you walk out on your family, male or female. I ain't talking about just men. I'm talking about male or female. Either you walk out on your family or you give up on life altogether. Neither one of them is the answer. The answer is getting some help. Asking somebody, how do I change the situation? It's not a weakness. It's not a knock on your pride or your ego. It doesn't make you less of a woman or less of a man to ask for help. In fact, it makes you more, because what it does is it shows that you care about the people in your family more than you care about your ego. So in my eyes, that makes you even a bigger man or a bigger woman, because you like, yo, I'm not going to risk my family's safety, my family's upbringing or growth, because I'm going to hold on to this prideful thing of, I got to do it my way, or I got to do it myself. Got to be better than that.
I don't know that I agree.
I don't care what you agree with.
You do. You do. I'm going to begin again. Are you?
Okay, go ahead. Try again. I'm good.
All right.
I couldn't resist, though.
I don't know. You could have.
Well, I could have. You're right.
Ask for help. Ask for help. Ask for help.
Can you help? Go ahead. You forgot what you were saying?
Nope. I'm still good. I'm still good.
All right, go ahead.
I don't know that I'd agree that it's always a matter of ego. Like sometimes, I mean, it is a very vulnerable position that you put yourself in to ask for help. But like sometimes it's kind of deeper than that. Like sometimes it can feel like an admission of failure to ask for help. And I guess maybe you could say that is maybe rooted in ego. But I mean, sometimes it's not. Like maybe sometimes if you're a person that wants to be able to do it on your own.
Right. We all do.
Everybody doesn't.
Well, all people of value want to do it.
People of value.
Some of y'all ain't. I'm just talking about people that's trying to do it. Right. But let me clear something up. I didn't say always with ego and pride. Yeah. I never used the word always. I said that your ego and pride can get in the way. I didn't say it always does. There's a lot of factors.
Right.
So I'm not trying to put it on one thing, but I do agree that it's something about when you feel like you didn't do or you can't do what you want to do for your family. And again, I've been there. So it hurts you to have to go and ask for some help. And so I get that. But you have to overcome whatever that issue is for the uplifting or the benefit of your family and for yourself in some cases. Mm-hmm. So you can't just, I agree with you. It's not always. It's never always. Nothing is only one way or only this. There are a lot of factors that play a part into why people don't ask for help. But what I want people to get is whatever your reasoning is, if you need help, you need to ask for help. And don't assume people know what your issues are. And because again, I've seen it and I've heard people say, well, nobody helped me. And I'm like, who knew you was going through that? And I'm talking about family members when they say nobody helped. And I'm like, I didn't know you was even going through that. I didn't know that was happening to you. And they were like, oh, I ain't saying that. Well, how you mad at me or mad at anybody if you never told anybody about it? Now, the people that knew, if they didn't help you, you can be mad at them if you want to. But don't look at me side-eyed when I didn't even know you was going through that. So, and I think that's the problem. Is like, yo, you carrying this weight from a childhood where nobody got me out of this bad situation, or as an adult where nobody helped me when we struggling in my house and nobody helping us. You're carrying that weight when you never even asked anybody for help or told anybody you needed help. Because I would hope that if you shared your struggle, somebody would offer to help you. But that ain't always the case. Mm-hmm. Some people only offer to help or only provide help when you ask for it, even if they know what's going on. Mm-hmm. Now, me personally, if you tell me you hungry, I'm probably going to offer you some food. I'm probably going to offer you, I'm going to take you to the store or buy you. I'm probably going to do that. But I'm hungry. Yeah.
See, all right, go ahead. I knew we just be talking on the podcast. Go ahead. I just say, we'll be telling you, y'all. This is entertainment purposes only.
but if you struggling with that, I don't need you to ask me to buy you some food. If you tell me, all right, I got you. But some people aren't like that. Some people will wait until you say, can you do it? Because they're like, yeah, you told me, but you didn't tell me you wanted it, or that you ain't asked me to do it. But it's still on me to open up my mouth, open up my heart, be vulnerable enough to say, yo, can you buy me some food for the house and my family? We got nothing to eat right now. I don't get paid for another week, whatever the case may be. Can you help us? It's not easy. I've been in a situation where I didn't ask for help, where things were really tight, and I wouldn't ask for no help. And I'm like, yo, kids eating eggs, and that's it. And
that's why you try to make. Never mind, that's cool.
And that's all. I mean, but yo, they eating eggs, and I ain't eating because I don't like eggs.
I didn't like eggs either.
I know, but
I still sometimes.
But it was good for you. You need this food in your body.
It's cool. It's not about trauma.
But my ego and the past trauma of how people made me feel when I did ask made me not ask again.
Mm-hmm. That's a good.
So I had a bad stretch where it's like, yo, I'm gonna get through this, and I'm pulling my kids through this, as opposed to saying I gotta put this aside. But I didn't do it. And so they struggle. I struggled. But, it's so it happens to all of us. Or it can happen to any of us. You have to ask for help sometimes. You have to open up your mouth, tell people what you're going through, even if they make you feel bad later. This is the thing. I'd rather you help feed my kids and make me feel bad than my kids starve. That's growth in me. Because before I'm like, yeah, they ain't really gonna starve. They gonna eat something, but I'm gonna figure it out, But I didn't have to go through that if I would have just asked for a little help, told somebody how bad it was. But that was on me, and so I think that I can't blame other people for not helping me because nobody know how bad it was. That's on me. So I had to learn, and luckily, and I'll be honest with you, God has blessed me where I don't necessarily need that type of help anymore. But fortunately, God has blessed me to be able to help others. But that's growth. So if you're not at that place where you are a blessing to others or have what you need, then you have to be that person that's going to ask for it. And it's okay. It's not a knock on your manhood or your womanhood. It doesn't make you a bad parent because you don't have. It just makes you a person that don't have or don't know how to manage what you have. And I was both. I didn't have and I didn't know how to manage what I had. So I was in both places. I was bad on both accounts. But I was trying. But that wasn't enough. I didn't try the right thing, which was to get some help. So I just want you, no matter what you're going through, no matter where what your situation is, if you are struggling emotionally, if you are struggling mentally, if you are struggling financially, if you are struggling physically, seek out some help. Ask somebody. Talk to somebody. I just need, sometimes, we look at the mental, and it's like, mentally, people want to get counseling and all that other stuff. And it's like, that's great. But we forget about the emotional side of it. Sometimes my emotions are so caught up that I can't control my emotions. I need help for that too. So don't be afraid to seek out help. Don't be afraid to be vulnerable. Care more about yourself, care more about your family than you care about what people say about you. People might say, he don't know how to handle his business. That's fine. As long as I get the help I need, y'all can say what y'all want. Because I can learn to handle my business eventually. But if I don't get some help, I may not get to eventually. So make sure you're not afraid to ask for the help that you need. Make sure that your pride, your ego don't get in the way to stop you from asking for the help that you need. Make sure fear doesn't stop you from getting the help that you need. Don't allow anything to stop you from getting the help that you need. Don't keep everything inside your house. If it's dangerous, it don't need to stay in there, or either let it stay in there and you get out. But get some help. Get someone that can separate you from the problem. Separate you from the person that's creating the problem, if that's the case. But whatever you need, you got to ask for the help. Ask for your help. Ask for the help. Ask for the help. Don't be afraid to seek help. A lot of different ways you can get it. If you're struggling mentally and you think about hurting yourself, ask for some help. Whatever you're going through and you need some help, ask for some help. So I just pray that you don't be afraid or don't take it as a slight on you for needing help. We all need help at some point in life. And unfortunately, some of us don't get it and our life ends too soon. So I'm going to wrap this up. I know it's a little different, a little heavy, but I just want you guys to know that it's okay to ask for help.
I cried a little bit.
And we when we're young, we kind of taught to be strong and built up, and again, and it's not wrong being strong, but even strong people need some help. Sometimes I need you to get on the other side of that bar as I'm pushing it up. So ask for some help.
Spot me, cuz.
Get what you need. And like Israel said earlier, white people, I don't know if y'all do it a little differently, but if y'all do, let us know.
Yeah, how do you ask for help even? Yeah. Or do you
do y'all keep stuff inside the house that need to come out?
If you gonna beat them, like what do you use? The belt?
Yeah, we don't need that. But
no, I like instruments.
Yeah, we don't need that.
And they use like spoons and stuff. That is.
Yeah, we ain't talking about that.
How for spankings? Regular spankings?
We ain't talking about spankings right now.
Oh.
Sometimes he gets carried away.
We want to know stuff.
Yeah, so we'll get that later. But yeah, we just want to know. We do want to know. If you need help, get some help, people. All right. So with that, Israel, anything you want to add? We got.
I personally want to ask a question. I want to know if episode 61 can be about spanking your kids, so that we can.
Oh, we can definitely talk about spanking your kids.
Yeah, because white people, I have questions.
All right. So when we get to the whole spanking your kids piece, that's gonna be good because I'll wear a kid out.
He will. He's not. This is not so good. This is the part of the podcast where you get honest. Passionate too. Passionate.
Yeah,
you saw the things you saw the eyes light up. He got flashbacks. Joy.
Love eating no.
Man.
All right, but
He like the dad from the Boondocks.
Hey, you got anything about this episode though?
Oh, nah. I ain't going back. We
You
just start
need-
laughing again. I ain't going back to that. We done. Wrap that up. We are good.
Right.
Ask the help, y'all.
Hey, and we're gonna get up out of here, but before,
Yeah.
just make sure you do something with your friends.
Tell one.
There you go.
Tell two. Tell three even. Tell all your friends.
All of them.
Tell them friends and tell their friends. And tell everybody likes and subscribes. And listens.
And listen.
Yeah.
Listen to the whole thing.
The whole thing.
It's
If
important.
this joint is 31 minutes and 22 seconds long, you better be listening for 31 minutes and 23 seconds to make sure that joint was really
Because you
over.
want to catch the jingle at the end again.
I'm saying,
The
like,
jingle is
make sure you don't turn it off until like the next thing plays.
Yeah, because one thing all y'all should know the jingle by now. It's pretty hot, but y'all
Yeah,
should
facts,
be
facts.
singing it.
I'm
So
saying, if you by the end of that joint, you ain't like me in the studio.
your head should be banging a little bit. You
In the
know?
studio, with Rob.
So we're gonna bounce out of here. We appreciate you guys and keep singing the jingle, and we will get with you soon.
And remember, as always, or at least as far as I know, he is Rob.
I am.
I just look like him.
Peace.
Gotta go, bye.
Studio. We in the studio. We in the studio. With Rob in the studio. In the studio. In the studio. Catch a vibe in the studio. In the studio. We in the studio. With Rob. We in the studio. In the studio. We in the studio. Catch a vibe. Yeah, I'm in the studio with Rob. I need to make the heat flicker. Is alone and only thing can make a Rico beat sicker. So listen and get your wisdom. Gemstones on your head. Good with the OG like Flintstones. Good in bed. Been living a long time and he got something to say. Depending on how you feeling, dog, you might got something to pray. This type of influence that you ain't gotta filter through your liver. We in the studio with Rob. Come let the heat rock simmer.